She-Ra is coming to an end after 5 seasons. Congrats on this amazing show. What has your experience been like playing Catra?
It's been really special. I mean, I signed on to this show, gosh, I mean, 4 or 5 years ago. And to see where it's gone, and to see that the fandom has been such a kind of pinnacle part of our world, going to different conventions, seeing the cosplay, the fan art online. I just never knew this show would grow into something so big. And it's really cool. Our characters have been able to tell a beautiful story. And at the end of the day, the show is all centered around friendship and what you'll do for your best friend. And I think that to me is a really important topic to touch on right now, especially in the animated world. But it's also, it's the cool thing about this show is that we're representing so many different walks of life, which I think is really important. Live action television is catching on to that more and more, but animated television is catching on to it, I think, almost even more than live action. And I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of the show. I'm proud of the way the fans have perceived it. And I love it. It's been really fun.
And kind of touching on some of the themes that have been in the show, one of the main themes has been this really strong female empowerment message. What's it been like working on a show with that kind of message for the fans?
I think it's wonderful because people need to see this. And I think young kids, whether it's young girls, young boys, need to see that strong females are being represented on television. I think that shows like Steven Universe and, She-Ra, I mean, you have strong female showrunners like Noelle Stevenson and Rebecca Sugar that are telling these stories, and it's going to shape the future of kids. Not only young females, but young males and how they perceive women. And so I think that's a huge part of our show. The centerpiece is female. I mean, our entire writing staff is female. Most of the show is ran by females. And it's pretty incredible that there are so many strong storylines right now that all kind of lead to, the pinnacle moment of like Adora's life, Catra's life. These are all strong female characters.
Looking back at all the past episodes, was there a standout episode or maybe a couple episodes that you were personally your favorite?
I think for me, looking back at the beginning, it's so funny because I realize I said that I've been a part of this for 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, I don't think it's been that long, but from the first audition, I think it's probably been 4 years. But I'm looking back on some of the first season episodes that kind of, to me, excite me the most because it was the first time I was seeing Catra animated with my voice. And I think I'd have to go with the Princess Prom. That theme to me, where they're all like dressed up, is so adorable. And the dance between Adora and Catra is so strong and such an important kind of moment in their friendship. But at that point, of course, they're not doing so well. But I love that moment and meeting little Frosta for the first time. And I mean, it's such a great moment to have that kind of prom captured on screen in this episode. I think it's really sweet.
And looking to the future, if there was ever like a spin-off or maybe like a live action version of this, would you be down to come back and play Catra again?
Totally. Oh my gosh. I hope that this has more legs. I mean, I feel like a show like this could easily come back, whether it's a full-length feature or, I don't know, season 6 miniseries, and it's like a special that comes out. I mean, look what's happened with Steven Universe. That fandom was so ready for more material, and they came out with a movie on Cartoon Network. So I feel like Netflix, who knows what, they could do. Obviously, DreamWorks and Netflix are capable of a lot. So I feel like this show could live on beyond these 5 seasons. I also think there's more story to tell. I think Noelle feels like she was able to frame things up in a way that tied things up for each character, and it's exactly probably how she saw it ending. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of us as like a cast and a crew, we want this to continue because we love these characters. And I understand we're kind of putting it to rest now, and I'm totally cool with that. But I feel like if there's ever a resurgence, this show would make sense for that.
You not only performed in this, you also sang the song for the final season, Warrior. What was it like recording that?
That was really neat. I mean, that was probably my last session as Catra. We were already wrapped with season 5. They asked me to come in and re-record the theme song just for promotional use for the final season. And I'm a big fan of the song anyway. I think it's a really well-written pop song. I'm, so used to the original recording because of watching every episode, but doing it in a more dark fashion, kind of as the voice of Catra in more of like a villainous tone, was really cool because it put a spin on this pop tune. And I'm really proud of those vocals. We went in there, it was a long session. We really took time crafting exactly how I was going to sing it. And I didn't necessarily go in singing as AJ or Allie and AJ. I sang as Katra, which for me was really cool. And it'll kind of be a benchmark in my mind as like the last recording I had as Katra, unless something happens in the future. It was neat.
Kind of going off of music, we have to ask, we're coming up on the 13th anniversary of your iconic bop, Potential Breakup Song. Did you ever think the song would blow up in the way that it did? Because even years later, people are still blasting it and loving it.
It's crazy to me. Like, I'll be driving in the car and someone will pull up to me, like knowing that it's me, and they'll like be blasting the song, like at a red light. Like, it's hilarious. Like, the amount of people that still care about that tune is crazy. But I think that's what's so powerful about music is it can be kind of a time capsule for your life. Like, there are a lot of people that heard that song for the first time and they were going through their first breakup and they'll never forget it. And then they revisit it 10 years later and they're like, I remember this tune. And it's neat that music can kind of live with us for that long. I have to say I'm honored. Like, that song is still a very important song for us and I'm really proud of it. We play it live still. You know, it gets us a lot of attention. I'm really excited for the new music we've created because I believe our music, you know, can continue to have that kind of longevity. Hopefully in 10 more years from now, people are listening to Joan of Arc on the dance floor, or Promises, or 10 years, the 10 Years EP or the Sanctuary EP, and they feel the same way about those songs as they felt about Potential Breakup Song. But I'm really proud of that song.
And then speaking of your music right now, you and your sister are kind of having a resurgence in terms of your current music. I'm wondering, what's it like getting that great feedback from the fans who are really loving this like kind of new sound from you guys?
It's really exciting. I mean, it's cool to have been doing this for so long and people are still so accepting of our music, even though we've changed. We're obviously older. You know, we waited 10 years to release new music and people still care, and they're showing up to the concerts and they're streaming the music and they're purchasing our vinyls and they're going on our web store and like buying merch. Like, it's neat that we have been an artist for so long, you know, originally signed to a major label in like our early teens and then took a big gap and came back in, you know, our early adult life and created 2 EPs that I'm really proud of. You know, we toured the past 2 summers and like I said, people are still showing up and they care. So it's cool to see that the fans have been carried out, you know, from us being 15 years old to now 29 and 31. And there are also new fans that never knew about our music prior that are just jumping onto the bandwagon now and then can get a taste for like our old catalog.
And then kind of on that nostalgic note, looking back to the past, we recently had the 14th anniversary of your iconic Disney Channel movie, Cowbelles. And I feel like even to this day, people are still watching it maybe for the first time, or fans are rewatching it for like the 100th time in like my case. What's it like knowing that that film has such a warm place in the fans' hearts?
It's so sweet. I mean, that was the first movie Allie and I ever shot together. Allie had just gotten her license. She learned stick shift for the movie. Like, I think I had my first on-screen kiss. I mean, that movie was like a big part of our lives during that time. We had, I think, just turned maybe 16 and 18 years old, and Disney Channel, you know, really believed in this story, and our dear friend wrote the script. And I'm really proud of that movie because it's, again, like a little bit of a time capsule for our lives. And hopefully down the road when we have kids, we can be like, look, your mom and your aunt, they're on screen together and they play sisters and here's the movie. And our kids will be like, this is stupid and dated now. But it's cute. You know, that movie still really matters to people. And I kind of feel the same way as how I feel about Potential Breakup Song. You know, it's not necessarily my taste or what I would create now, but it's something that I can be proud of from my past.